I believe that human beings are just lazy at the end of the day, where we don't really want to take the time for the things that matter. Hey guys, welcome back to Open Up, platform for getting psychoeducated. I want to start today's video by reading you all a quote from Terribly Tiny Tales, and then let's see if you can guess the topic of today's video. So the quote goes like, look up. Look up from your glaring devices. Your life is holding up a torch full of possibilities. More than who you can be, constantly stuck between refreshing your timelines. More than devouring others' lives, you are more. So, if you would have guessed, this quote is basically about a person who is addicted to social networking, who is addicted to their phones, and where the quote is urging them to look up from those devices and to engage in their real life, to completely, fully realize their possibilities. So today's video, guys, is going to be about internet addiction or screen addiction in the time of lockdown, and concrete strategies that we can use to curb that, to get a hang over it. So we are going to be looking at some theories or some explanations of why it's very easy, why it's so easy to get hooked on to those Facebook timelines, to get hooked on scrolling endlessly on Instagram without any purpose, without any goal, but just because one post leads to the next and then that leads to something else and it just goes on. Why is it so easy to love that more than your real life in a way? Stay tuned for all of that. Right, so internet addiction or screen dependence is typically defined as problematic online behavior or unhealthy, unhelpful screen presence. So, what can be some of the signs that you can look out for to make sure that you are not going there or you are not there, right? So, the very obvious sign that you should look out for is if you are spending more than 7 or 8 hours per day invested in these things, invested in watching web series or scrolling on Facebook or Instagram or watching random videos on YouTube, playing games online or online shopping. So if you are spending a lot of time on these things, which is when you know that that time must be used in something else, but you are unable to stop using that is the number one sign that you should be vigilant about. Next, let's say that you are able to detach from that and you are engaging in something else, but your cognitions are totally driven to that. In your mind, you are still thinking, when will be the next time that I can pick up my phone? If you are playing a game, you think about how will you make that kind of progress that you have in mind. So basically, even if physically you are present in something else, cognitively and mentally you are still on your phone doing the whichever task that you usually do. Thirdly, if your sleep cycles have really been disrupted because of the cell phone usage or because of the screen usage. So all of us have certain body sleep-wake cycles that are inbuilt in our body, which are kind of attuned to the sun rising up and the sun setting down, which is why we feel sleepy at night and we are energetic during the day. But if these cycles are messed with, which often happens in screen dependence, that you might find yourself going to sleep at 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. in the night and then finally waking up at, let's say, 11 a.m. or 12 p.m. the next day. Now this will definitely take a toll on your productivity because it will lead to headaches, it will lead to a lot of grogginess, reduced concentration and mood swings. When your brain doesn't receive the enough sleep that is required, moodiness almost always sets in. Next, if you are constantly isolated, you are not conversing with people in your house, if you are holed up in your room, constantly on the laptop or on the phone, that would be one more sign that you should look out for. Then, guilt about the phone usage. So let's say that the entire day passes when you have not really done anything productive and you have been on your phone or on your laptop. At the end of the day, there is this guilt that sets in where you kind of beat yourself up that, you know what, again I did the same thing, I am such a useless person, I don't know why I am not able to battle this, I don't know why I am not able to do something productive. So guilt about the usage is definitely one more sign to be vigilant about. And lastly, a lot of mood outbursts, a lot of emotional pendulum that keeps going on, that you are constantly shifting between moods. There is a time when you are absolutely alright, but then something happens and you get very, very irritated. Right, so now these were some of the signs that I wanted to share. Let's move on to understand what could be some possible reasons why it is so easy to get addicted to the internet or to the mobile phones that we all use. So the number one theory that has been proposed is if your overall mental health is suffering. Oftentimes behind internet addiction there is one more disorder that is piggybacking, which is depression or anxiety. So the higher the anxiety or the stress, the higher the internet usage or the screen dependence. Now, as you all know, we have been in lockdown since 20th March, which is quite a lot of time. So I think we will be completing 2 months if the lockdown doesn't end soon. Now, naturally, this will lead to some kind of mental health toll on many people. It will lead to stress and it will lead to anxiety. So if your capabilities, or let's say that you don't have the necessary coping mechanisms to deal with these kind of obstacles or to deal with this kind of stress, it is very, very easy to get hooked on to the easier options of screen dependence or watching something. Now, why is that? Well, there is a very simple explanation that goes behind this. Whenever you are investing something on the internet, or let's say you're watching something, you're playing something, the reward centers of your brain get activated. And when the reward centers get activated, there is a dopamine rush which makes you feel good. So it is a very easy escape for you, that when the real life is not going as you had planned, so when there are many restrictions on your behavior, when there is a lot of information about coronavirus which gets you anxious, it is very, very easy to kind of take that blanket on you of that internet usage or that web series or that movie that you are watching, so that you don't have to think about what is going on. You don't have to really deal with the anxiety or with the frustration, with the stress that you must be feeling. So that is the number one theory. The second theory actually roots all the way back to your childhood, which is an interpersonal theory that says that if you don't have a healthy relationship with your parents, where you are unable to discuss things with them, where you're unable to talk to them, where there is not a very healthy family dynamic that is going on, it might lead to isolation, which might increase anxiety, which then again pushes you into the arms of that web series or that online game. Right? So that was the second theory. Let's move on to the third theory, which is that uses and gratification theory. The uses and gratification theory was proposed by Elihu Katz in the year 1959. The theory spoke about how internet or mobile phones can be used to reach your goals and how every person can make a different use from it. So they said that internet was like a chameleon. It had something in store for everybody who used it. Then let it be seeking communication, seeking social approval, looking for information, escapism, or emotional validation as well. So they said that yes, you can use internet to reach your goals in a healthy way, but if your goals in themselves are unhealthy, it can also turn to be a curse instead of a boon. The next theory talks about how human beings are nothing but big pleasure seekers. So we all need instant gratification. We want everything now. That is jaldi hona chahiye. I should get it quick. So whenever, let's say, I am going through some kind of emotional distress or I am just bored, plain bored, instead of taking the time to sit down and figure out something that will make that boredom go away, or to figure out the cause of my emotions, the root cause of them, and then to figure out the thoughts and how do I deal with that, it is much more easier to just switch on my laptop or switch on my phone and play something on it till I feel better. So we all are instant gratifiers. I feel that we are constantly looking out for that. And why does Facebook or Instagram or social networking sites have that charm or that appeal? Is because you never know what you might see on them. You never know what you might find. So this theory goes by the name Variable Ratio Preference Schedule, or VRRS, which says that every time that you log on to some kind of social site, you are getting some unexpected results, you are getting some unpredictable happiness, because you don't know what you might end up watching or what you might end up finding, and that is why you keep going back for more. So to sum all of it up, the biggest reason that I believe for internet addiction is escapism, and because we just don't want to take the necessary efforts to deal with the things that are bothering us, to deal with the things that are bugging us, or probably we don't have the necessary solutions, or we don't have the necessary coping mechanisms to deal with them. So that being said, let's move on to understanding some concrete strategies that I have figured out that can help us to battle the screen addiction or screen dependence in the period of lockdown. The first and the most obvious strategy is kind of making a log of how many hours you are spending on the laptop or on the phone. What this does is it creates a sense of responsibility, it creates a feeling of responsibility when you look at the page at the end of the day and you see exactly how much time you have spent. Alteration to that could also be, and this is something that I tried on myself, that let's say I have taken my phone in my hand and I just note down the time mentally. So what time is it right now? It is, let's say it's 12 o'clock. Then I decide that how much time will I be watching it and when will I keep the phone down. Now let's say for me it's 1 o'clock and I keep on going back to that. So what happens with most of us is that we start watching something and we lose track of time, we lose the sense of time, and before we know it, it's 2 hours or 3 hours, and then we feel guilty that my god, so much time has passed by and I did not do anything but watch something or do something online, isn't it? So creating that kind of log for yourself. Next, dealing with the uncomfortable emotions and dealing with the uncomfortable thoughts. In many treatment programs that were done with people who were addicted to internet, it was found that when the underlying cause of depression or anxiety got alleviated, automatically the internet addiction reduced too, because the person no longer felt like he needed to escape from his real life or from his daily routine to the phone or to the laptop. So I have talked about thought modification, about how to build happiness in the previous videos. So please go and watch them to understand more about this point. The next technique is making a no phone hour in your day, deciding an hour in your entire day where your phone will not be in your hands, where your phone will be anywhere but in your hands. So that time you can really decide and keep it in your drawer, keep it in a locker so that you don't go and pick it up. Now what this 1 hour will do is create a sense of discipline in you. It will create some distance from that phone or distance from that laptop, and which will in turn give you the confidence that hey, I can do this. It's not all that difficult, it's not unachievable for me. If I can do it for 1 hour, I can definitely do it for more. So you have to start with something small. So if 1 hour is too much for you, start with half an hour, no problem. But at the end of the day, there has to be some time throughout your day when the phone is not in your hands and you're doing something else. Now this brings me to the next point. So we saw that one of the reasons why people get so quickly addicted is because they want to make that boredom go away. And in the lockdown period, it is very much all the more common for that to happen, right? Because your routine has been disrupted. Well, then there comes the importance of finding out activities that will give you happiness, that will make you engaged, and these activities have to be activities that don't involve any kind of online usage. Let's move on to the next strategy. Alright, so I believe that there is a choice point that every one of us is placed at every time you pick up the phone. So there is that split second when you are reaching down or you are extending your arm to pick up that phone. And if really vigilant, if you are vigilant at that choice point, I think you can reduce the amount of times you pick up the phone. So nowadays when I am picking up my phone, I tend to ask myself this question, that do I really need to pick it up right now? What is my real motive behind picking it up? Am I picking up the phone just so that I can scroll on Instagram because I'm bored? Or am I picking up the phone because I have an important message to send somebody? And when you learn to kind of distinguish between the two motives, it makes very clear when it's okay to pick up the phone and when it's not. You can take this technique ahead by deciding the number of times you will allow yourself to pick up the phone for the first reason. That is, I just want to scroll on Instagram, I just want to watch a recreational video. You can definitely decide the amount of times you are allowing yourself to do that throughout the day. But once that count has passed, then it is your responsibility to get yourself back from that choice point. And that choice point is incredibly important because that is where your mental strength and your mental grit comes into picture, isn't it? Those were the techniques that I had thought of. Lastly, if you are really getting addicted and if it is really taking a toll, then the first step that you should be doing is seeking out to a psychiatrist, reaching out to a mental health professional that would guide you. You can obviously always contact me on the number that is showcased on the screen below, or you can reach out to the psychiatrist or psychologist in your contact in your area. So that was it. I hope that these techniques will help you in battling against internet addiction, and do let me know in the comment section if you use them and if you found them helpful. I'll see all of you guys next time. Till then, stay away from the phones.